It's Week 7 of the NFL, and we'll be watching the Browns' leader at quarterback. He's fourth in the NFL in passing touchdowns this season. It's the Browns and the Texans, just ahead on EA Sports.
It's the National Football League, presented by EA Sports. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment. And
sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got...
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
Partner, you know how guys always tell us it's not about the numbers, it's about the win? It's about the numbers, too. Almost 400 yards passing by him last week. What can he do in this one?
Well, earned him AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Maybe he'll try to get 400-plus here and duplicate that honor again. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The numbers for Travis Kelsey last week. 8 catches, 5 yards past 100, and a touchdown.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10. And
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at third down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on fourth down. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Texans will take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his 4th season in the NFL.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. If he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
The numbers for Collins last week, well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
Our first carry here for Joe Mixon. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Fred dealt it. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. On a slant, here's Collins. call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here, a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. The Browns offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And the numbers have looked good this season. Case in point right here. He is up there among the NFL leaders in TD passes. The Browns drive about to get started. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
2nd and 5. A quick throw, but incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy, and it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. You look at the defense for these Texans. And they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team. I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 9. And again, it's Chubb. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Aaron Siposs on to punt as he'll get this one away now. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Play action. Stroud now. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there. They were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now Stroud. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Collins. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 6. Moore, the man in motion. Here's Stroud. Another one caught by Collins. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Stroud. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 20-yard line. Stroud looking to throw. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Rondale Moore, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Cleveland offense making their way out. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run it again with Chubb. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27. You look at the defense for these Texans. They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
This is a unit that understands what needs to be done to stop the run. And they're a team that goes out and executes as well. Yeah, it's the mantra, stop it, but then going out and getting it done. Two different things. They combine them. I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. He's got it to Collins, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 42-yard line. Stroud to throw it. That's complete. It's Collins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down. Throwing now is Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Here goes Stroud again. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Collins. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2. as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Rondale Moore, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 2nd and 6. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays...
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. That's Azeez Al-Shaair getting through for the sack that time. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive. And it's been paying off for them so far this game.
The Texans offense and Nico Collins heading onto the field. And he's been filling up the stat sheet on a weekly basis. So to no one's surprise, his name sits near the top of the list in terms of most receptions by a wideout this season. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Stroud out of the gun here. And that's going to be incomplete.
Quality coverage that time to slow down what's been the main source of offense against them thus far. Got to find a way to slow down that ball in the air.
Stroud working out of the gun. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Well, they get to Stroud. Nowhere to go, and he goes down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And taken right on the 30. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
First target, first catch, and a first down. Back to throw. Peterson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll look to throw again. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. The Texans' offense ready to go here for their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hands, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. He'll let this go deep for Collins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 39 yards there, a big one.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps. It delivers a big play here for this offense.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38. Looking to throw. Stroud. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Roughing the passer, defense.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Joe Mixon from 17 yards out as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're a PAT from going up 21-3.
And there's no doubt in my mind, You're liking what you're seeing so far, aren't you?
It's been unbelievable. Like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
What's really tough, though, that defense, they're leaping the shadows at this point. They don't know which way to go. They're being hit in every direction, and they have no answers thus far.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Cleveland offense making their way out. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. Off the play fake, Peterson dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Here's Aaron Sipas now. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The Texans offense had C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Got a man. It's Collins complete. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection. I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
In motion right, that's Collins. Now Stroud going to bat it forward on the touch pass. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Mixing up the middle. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, More than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And they'll send Judy in motion left. Second down and inches. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Out of the gun now on third down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
That's a big conversion there on third down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
They go play action here on first down. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Seibert able to knock this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the visiting Chargers who were able to come in and steal one on the road. Justin Herbert, a very good performance as his guys run the record now to 5-2. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Will Levis leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown run in the victory. It was Joe Mixon who had it working in the first half. He had 3 catches in that opening part of the game and wound up with a touchdown reception as well.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Texans offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfections in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Defensively, they were all over that. When he decided to keep it, there were a lot of eyes just darted on him.
I wonder if he followed the progressions properly there. I think maybe he really wanted to run with the football. Turned out not to be the correct decision.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense him saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Back to throw. Peterson. Pressure from behind, and he's going to be thrown down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw. And they hooked up there for a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Peterson. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now a 2nd and 2. They go up the middle with Chubb. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Looking to throw. Peterson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Peterson throwing on 4th down. That is caught. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back to throw. Peterson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Peterson. And that's going to be caught for Browns touchdown. Travis Kelce from 8 yards out, and the Browns get a bit closer. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Well, this offense and their wideout headed back onto the field. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this 3rd quarter. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5.
Back to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Got his man, Dell.
And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Peterson now, operating from the gun.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 54 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
That's complete. Left side to Bateman.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. 2nd down and 4.
They'll look to throw here.
A short one there, taken in by Ferguson.
And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Moore, the man in motion. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
That's complete to Dell.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
They'll look to throw.
To the right side and caught by Dell.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 42 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Mixon with a first down carry. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
He'll look to throw.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 2nd and 9 now.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Back to throw now on first down. He gets this one to Johnson. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
68 yards receiving now for him in the game, and a first down on that last catch as well. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the Texans' 31-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Peterson. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here's Peterson from the gun on 3rd down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Seibert's kick is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Houston set to take over. The field goal we just saw has us now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
He's going to drop this one down for Chubb.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll send a tight end in motion right. They go play action here on 1st down.
That's caught by Johnson.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. He'll look to throw.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
Back to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Chubb, just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And that nearly intercepted. Oh, a chance at a big play in his own end zone. But instead, 3rd down coming up.
Back to throw. Being chased out, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here it is, 4th and goal. Here's Thompson Robinson.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.